Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview on a hump day, Wednesday, January 27th, 2016. Traders is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, please come visit our website at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Alright traders, let's get started. Lots to talk about today. Some good price action yesterday and should be better today. We have data in all three sessions today. Alright, my name is William Gilday. I'm your moderator for the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006 after sitting on the couch at 2 o'clock in the morning and listening to an infomercial. I went to the seminar. From that point on, I was hooked. Traders, well, let's talk about my trading style. I'm a pullback trader. I like the currency pair to make a move. I fib it with a Fibonacci tool, and I wait for my entry. And if price doesn't come back to me, I don't take the trade. And that's just really the way you have to trade. You just can't be chasing blue and red candles, or if you have red and green candles, whatever. You can't be chasing price. Do not chase price. I do have three exponential moving averages on my charts. I do have the 200, the 55, and the 10. Sometimes price will not give you a pullback, but will give you a good move, and you can rely on your EMAs to help you get into the trade or go to a higher or lower time frame. Also, I listen to fundamentals. Fundamentals are a very important part of my trading. I pay for a news feed. I get emails at the beginning of the session, the middle of the session, and at the end of the session. So I know what's going on globally. Remember, we're macro traders. All right, so what I really am is a technician. I love doing candlestick charts. I love making analysis. I look at candlesticks, and it tells us a story, right? The patterns in candlesticks tells us a story. However, I'm always looking at support and resistance and price structure and price action and price failure. And that's just so important in your trading. They have an idea what's going on. But more important than that is price levels. You know, Forex repeats itself. So say you're at 117.00, so the 1700 price level. Well, you know, if you look left at the chart, price has reacted to that many times. So you would expect a bounce or even a reversal at that point, because you know traders have limit orders to go long, right? So, all right. So we put all that together. We've done our analysis, and we've done our fundamental analysis, our technical analysis. We put it all together, and we come up with a trade plan. Once I enact my trade plan is set. I don't change my trade plan. I might change my entry to that I don't get a pullback, but other than that, the numbers are still the same. Okay? All right, that's enough about me. Let's talk about our risk disclaimer to keep the legal people happy. Not that they're going to come get me in Thailand, but if they want to, they can come visit if they like. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex market. Traders, remember that this is a game of capital preservation. If you don't have money in your account, you can't trade tomorrow. Therefore, do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's hit it. Okay, let's see what the indices did yesterday. In the U.S. session, the Dow 30 was negative 0.10%. However, the S&P 500 was positive 0.03%, and the Nasdaq was positive 0.24%. And with the small cap 2000 positive 0.67%. I'm waiting for this pullback. We're going to see a pullback here in the stock market. We're going to see a pullback, and this is going to affect our trading, and it's earnings seasons on top of that. So we got to be very careful on the trades we take. And, well, I trade Asia and I trade London in Forex, and in New York I trade options. So all of this affects my trading, and it's so important that we keep on top of it. Let's talk about the DAX. The DAX closed positive 0.49%. The FTSE 100 closed 0.21%. The CAC 40 closed positive 0.15%. With the Euro Stoxx 50 actually closed 0.28%. Good day in the Eurozone. However, they had no data yesterday, and today they're filled with data. The Great British Pound has like 3 high-impact news events coming out today. Let's take a look at Asia. Some of these countries are trading, some of them are closed. Doesn't open for another hour and 15 minutes. But however, the Nikkei 225 is currently open, and they are positive 1.58%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is positive 0.49%. The China A50, which is not open yet, 45 minutes, it will be, and that is it closed positive 0.01%. The Hang Seng closed positive yesterday at 0.62%, with the Kospi out of Seoul currently trading positive 0.12%. Traders, let's take a look at our economic calendar. Really, we have a full calendar today. We do have high impact news in Asia. We have CPI quarter on quarter for quarter 2. So we do have some high impact news there. It's quite a mixed day today. We have a lot of high impact, and then we have a lot of medium impact. The Great British Pound has GDP year on year for quarter 2. Then it has GDP quarter on quarter for quarter 2. Why is that 2 different ones? GDP. Oh, the first one was year on year. Okay. I was saying, did they do that twice? No, it was my eyes. It's okay. All right, let's move along here. In the U.S. session, we have core durable goods, high impact news event, and of course, it is Wednesday, and we have crude oil inventories, which is going to be an interesting number. Oil has dipped down to $43.44 per barrel. That's probably the lowest it's been in months. So I'd really like to see that oil take a retrace. We don't trade, and I don't show an oil chart on this platform, but keep an eye on oil. For those of you who do look at oil, remember that oil is /CL, and you should get your oil. All right. So that's what's going on with our numbers and our economic calendar. Full day of trading ahead. It's going to be quite busy today, to be honest with you. It's not going to be very slow, and it's not going to be very easy. So we will keep an eye on that. Commentary is we have a pretty exciting week today. We do have ECB coming out tomorrow. The ECB has its interest rate and news conference and all that stuff. You know, the problem with the Eurozone right now is President Draghi has no power. I mean, in 6 months ago when that guy spoke, the charts moved. Whether he said anything good or bad or said nothing, the charts moved. Now when he speaks, the charts don't even move. Unless he does something crazy like lower interest rates, which he might want to think about, he's not getting any recognition for his work that he's doing. On that note, let's take a look at the euro dollar and see what's going on. Not a bad trade yesterday. This was a little tricky to get into. I would say the biggest thing to realize on this 30-minute chart, if you look at that red dotted line, you'll see a big candle with that big spike on it. If you look at the candle before, that's a decision candle, indecision, and then a decision candle, which is what? It's an evening star on a 30-minute chart. Well, that evening star worked. It went through the 200 exponential moving average, came down, came all the way back up, and gave you a second opportunity to get in this trade. That is one nice thing about the euro dollar. It will give you a second opportunity to get in. All right, let's take a look at Great British Pound. Has done nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just sideways all week this week. Just hasn't done anything. It's just going sideways. There's no price action. The EMA's bundled up like spaghetti, and it's hovering at this 200 exponential moving average. It can't close above it, and we're just gonna have to wait and see. I have an aggressive trade plan here, by the way. You can see my trade plan is for this to pull back up to 1.3191, which is the all-one pivot point, and we'll take our profit at 1.3071. So my trade plan for the pound is very aggressive, and we know the personality of the pound. The pound does not like giving pullbacks. So we just need to be careful and watch this one. I don't think this is just going to fall and drop off the charts. I think we will get a pullback one way or another. The only way we won't get a pullback is if some reason we get really bad numbers and this just drops like a rock, which could happen. if somebody put a gun to my head and said, "What do you think it's going to do?" I'd say it's going to drop. They're going to get bad numbers. And the big thing you have to realize is probably half of those numbers are before the Brexit vote. So that's pretty important to realize that a lot of these numbers that are coming out of the pound are before the Brexit vote. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar had an up day this week and sideways came back down to the daily pivot point. You know, you got to say the daily pivot point, the 200 exponential moving average works. Right? Look at this. Hit the daily pivot point almost to the pip and now is on its way back up in the Asia session. So I want this to go all the way back up to resistance. You can see the line I put on the chart. We're going to get in. This is 0.7534, and we'll get out at support. If you look left of the chart, you can see why I picked that area as support, and that's at 0.7461. All right, let's take a look at the euro yen. Now, traders, if you took my trade advice yesterday, you made a good profit. Now, this is what I was talking about, where a pair does not give you a pullback, but just waterfalls, right? Just goes and dumps. Well, the key to this on this chart, now you realize this is a slide, so I don't have the full chart, but you can see where the 10 exponential moving average has crossed the 55 EMA. That was your clue to get in the trade. Now, this was, well, it would have been for me. I would have had to sleep on this because this happened all during late in New York and the end of London, and this thing just dumped right on down. Beautiful trade, just really worked very, very well. So, yeah, for those of you who got this trade, congratulations. It was a good trade plan, and it worked out very good. Let's take a look at New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar, you know, I quite don't understand why this pair is strong lately. It's given us some up days, and I'm waiting for this thing. You know, I'm bearish. My bias is bearish on the New Zealand dollar. The Kiwi hasn't put out any spectacular numbers, so it's not like they're doing so wonderful. I think we get the dairy products today. It's either today or tomorrow, but I think it's today. You know, they don't post that on economic calendars. I don't know why, but it's either Wednesday or Thursday, but I think it's Wednesday they come out. So I want this. It's close. I mean, it's coming. It's going to retest the support line, and that's where we're going to sell it at 0.7078. We'll take profit at 0.7019. Yeah, we have to get through the 55, the pivot, and the 200. That's why I put a star there. So if you wanted to get out of the trade, or just take some off your position and let it run it go and see if it works, just trade it and put a trail on it, but make it really tight. You know, don't get back your profits. Don't end up at break even if you get down to that daily pivot point. You should have a good amount of pips in there. Put those pips in your pip bank, right? So that's what's going on with the New Zealand dollar. Don't quite understand why this is strong. I'll have to research that a little bit stronger today in the London session. All right, let's take a look at the Euro Aussie. Sorry about the little writing up in the top corner of the chart, folks. I do use alert services. Not that I trade them, but what alert services does is you know, you can only watch so many pairs at one time. I watch 8 currency pairs at one time when I'm trading in my office. But there's 41 pairs out there, right? So I do use alert services, both in options and in Forex. It just keeps my eyes, it gives them a break, and once I see an alert, I can go look at it in 2 seconds. I can see whether I want to deal with it or I don't want to deal with it. And that's what that's all about. All right, here we are, the Euro Aussie. This was a beautiful trade to the downside. Absolutely a great trade. This just closed below that 200 exponential moving average, came down, did a somewhat of a pullback, and what did it do? Bam, came all the way back down to what is now support, is 1.4588. So I'm looking for this to pull back to the daily pivot point and the 55 EMA at 1.4646, and we will sell this. Right? We're going to sell this. I want to sell the Euro Aussie, and I want to get it today. I don't want to do it on a Thursday or Friday because I don't hold trades over the weekend. Okay. Only time I hold trades is options, because normally most of my options are 90 days out. Okay. All right, traders. On behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I want to thank you for joining me today, Wednesday, Hump Day, middle of our trading week, 2016. Traders, please come visit our website at fxclearing.com. And you know what? You can even trade binary options if that's what you like to do. It's on that platform. Great economic calendar. Everything you can imagine is there. So please go visit it and just scan through the site. I think you'll have an enjoyable time doing it. It's very interesting. It's a great site. It's very modern. Very nice. All right, traders. Like I say, always remember to trade smart and not hard. Traders, we'll catch you next time. Take care now. About 24 hours. See you then. Bye-bye.